Welcome everyone. I am Geary, and I do drawing streams. So, today I'm going to be drawing an original character. Code in the chat right now is the one who recommended this particular character. The idea being some kind of dragon girl in like a arcane-punk techno magic type setting. So, we're going to be experimenting with that, trying to figure out the character design, that sort of thing. Anyway, let's get going. Let's probably start with a pretty simple pose just so we can focus mostly on the design. So I kind of fired off one of my time lapses this morning. Well, and by this morning I mean like 2 hours ago. I was logging in to get the stream ready and all that, and I'm pretty sure that single video just did double my best record ever. And that's impressive to me. I've never seen a video do that before, so at least on my end, so you know, we'll see if anything becomes of this, but it's already up at like 60 some views. Let's see here. Yeah, the Mori concert one did the time lapse of it is just like popping off for some reason. I don't know what's up with that, but that seems to be the way of things. No. So I half suspect that we might get some new visitors dropping in here over the course of the stream, just because that video is getting a ridiculous number of impressions right now. Anyway, yeah, just kind of working on a real basic pose. I have no idea what I want this character to look like. I pulled up a little bit of kind of example ref that I might be using later, but other than that, it's just going to be noodling around for today. There we go. So how you doing today, Code? Painting anything interesting? You said you were out of paints the other day, so I don't know if you've had a chance to go pick up more yet. I'm painting some fine details as I get more lead belcher and some other paints, but still out of Nuln Oil. Fair enough. That's what's wrong. Okay, let's just put that a little too high. There we go. All right. Let's finish up with that there. All right. I think it'd be nice to get maybe some kind of like an asymmetrical pauldron design going in here. Now that we have our kind of simple dulled drawn, that might be a good way to go. You know, we'll do like a pauldron on one side, but not the other. Because we can put like a magic gem or something in like that in there. Maybe run some wiry sorts of deals up to it. That might be kind of fun. Let's see, we could do a diagonal strap, though I don't know if I necessarily want to. We could do the kind of behind the neck apron type straps might also work well here. And maybe if we got like a spellcaster sort of focus here, that could be cool. Maybe bring in like a witch hat, get some of that. Though a witch hat would make it difficult to draw on horns, so we might not. We'll sketch it in for now. Unless our horns are like those kind that do the ear replacement like the are in Final Fantasy. And mostly tuck low. That might work. It's not right there. I think the legs are not quite large enough. Something's wrong. I think it's that. And whole character is slightly tilted. There we go. Yeah. They just didn't feel like they were pushing their mass downward under them. They felt like they were leaning forward. Trying to think what else might work well. Maybe have her look regal, like when Magic Industrial Revolution kicked off. She made a profit being a rare component supplier, therefore being someone rich and important. I mean, that's kind of everyone in that aesthetic. The only people who don't fit that definition in that particular aesthetic there are people who don't have access to magic or technology and are therefore just paupers and taken outside of the setting. You couldn't tell the difference between them and someone from just any old setting. Unfortunately. So that's gonna kind of come by default. I guess there's also like the craftspeople, but even then, that's a case of anyone involved with that is automatically rich in that sort of setting. I'm just trying to slowly refine the doll a little bit as we draw outfit onto it. What else might look good? Well, we could bring in more of that witchiness with like a high cut dress there. True, though maybe use lots of filigree or inlays. I mean, again, that's like almost default for that particular setting, because the filigrees and inlays are used to represent that the technology is magical, which is like, okay. It's one of the reasons why, while I think the setting is cool, it's a very difficult setting to work in, as it basically has two levels of tonality. You are either poor or you are, you know, the wealthy mages manipulating everything. It just doesn't make a lot of interesting stories, unfortunately, in my opinion, as while it has some cool visuals, that particular setting always begs the question, why are there poor people if anyone can do magic? As magic would literally solve most problems poverty causes in an instant. It's one of the issues D&D has in a lot of cases, in a lot of settings too, is why is anyone a peasant if magic? You know, one wizard could come through town and remove peasant status from everyone in an instant in the D&D world. And the arcane-punk techno-magic setting exacerbates that even more, as it's not only do we have magic, but we also have technology, and they're both just lying around everywhere. It's not to say that I don't enjoy the setting, I'm just saying that it's ends up being a bit one-dimensional in a lot of ways. Don't take my criticisms here as me disliking the setting. Oh, you know what might be fun? Is if we prop her up on like a techno broom. Let's do that. We can really hammer that witchiness home. But by having her up on a broom, we can help push that magic feel even more too. And that would actually really sell that particular blend, which can be kind of hard to do in a single snapshot. Let me think here. Like, position's going to be a bit challenging. Let me throw the broom onto a new layer. Let's start with that. Okay. Normally when you're drawing people sit in here, that you don't get to see the entirety of their legs and stuff, so it's a bit of... I think I'd want to pull the cut up front a bit more, so we can kind of wrap it this way. Have matter creation magic not really work at all, and the fancy powerful tech is incredibly expensive as it requires miles of inlay material, lots of high quality crystal, and right, but again, that still limits it to you have nobles and peasants. You have the people who have the technology, who are basically gods in the universe, and the people who do not have the technology, who are in potato sacks. And and you could literally have one of those gods just walk through town and change everything overnight. And technically, all magic is matter creation magic. So there you go. That doesn't quite work. That's what makes it magic, is that it violates the fundamental laws that you cannot create or destroy energy. That in just a little shoulder down a little bit. In a singular location that's totally controlled by a single family that rules harshly, that sort of cyberpunk style. Also, yeah, while it can't create or destroy anything, it's... Oh, wait, hold. A single... Also, yeah, okay, so you got one more message here. Let's see what it is. A single location is totally controlled by a single family that rules harshly. It's like a sort of cyberpunk style. So yeah, while it can't truly create or destroy anything that's made, lasts for a short amount of time before dissipating. if it only lasts for a short amount of time before dissipating, why does it grant anyone any power? That's the fundamental problem. Scarcity exists because poverty exists because there is material scarcity to some degree. As soon as you make it, there is not material scarcity, i.e. the stuff just goes away at some point. Okay, material scarcity is preserved, which means the magic is worthless. If material scarcity isn't preserved because the magic isn't creating or is creating and destroying energy, then there's no reason that the poverty should exist because you're destroying the concept of material scarcity. It's the problem with it is a fundamental underlying problem with settings like D&D and with most fantasy settings with high magic. Don't get me wrong, I love playing in like D&D settings and stuff. They're absolutely fantastic and a ton of fun, but if you actually analyze them critically, it falls apart very quickly. The only reason things like Game of Thrones kind of get an exception to that is because the magic that exists doesn't really violate this concept of material scarcity. It doesn't, because you're paying things like life for it to exist. It's low magic in a lot of ways. It's the but where you have very high magic settings, material scarcity just shouldn't be a thing after a few weeks. You know, I consider any D&D campaign you've ever played in, where your heroes were wandering around with, a level 1 starts the game with like 50 gold in their pocket. You gotta realize that a peasant in a D&D universe earns 1 gold a week. Like, understand the sheer craziness of that difference there. You are starting the game even as a non-lordling, as a functional lordling from a wealth value there. And by the end of, level 3, when you have 20,000 gold, you have enough money that you are a Jeff Bezos in comparison to the average peasant there. We'll have like the toes sticking out. Toes. And unfortunately, the techno magic, both technology and magic have the potential to do that. Technology has the disadvantage that it costs materials to put in place. So it doesn't violate. So technology isn't magic because it's not violating material preservation. However, it still is very good at eliminating poverty. When you add both literal magic and a violation of material preservation and technology together, it is an exponential. There should not the very way we imagine the universe just doesn't work in most cases. I think that light's a bit too long. Let's kind of take her other shoe and balance it on her toes. half dangling off, I think, maybe. We're ended up going very witchy here, and we don't have a lot of dragon element in it quite yet. We'll have to work on that. I'm going with more of a flat style shoe, I think. I'm not getting that toe box quite right. Let's just copy it. Yeah, copy. Okay, there we go. That kind of gets that shoe balanced on the toes sort of deal. I think I want to slightly shrink her. Oh, that shoe feels way out of perspective, actually. Oof. Is that maybe a bit better? Move this knee down a little bit. I think that'll help. Should still see it, but just not very much. Let's bring that broom back. Broom-like thing. You know what I just realized? I drew the dress in such a way where she couldn't be sitting on the broom. All right, let's pull this. Kinda... It's got to sag down. We're going to need to pull this forward, I think. All right. Alrighty, there we go. That's a little bit easier to prop her up on a broom sort of deal. Also, let's since we were worried about not bringing nearly enough dragon into that before, we can have a tail droop down. There we go. That'll start bringing some of that dragon in. Keep that one a bit slim. But yeah, on the subject of like a dissipating after a short amount of time, if we take a fireball and say it increases the heat, but then the energy of the heat is destroyed after a little while. What if we use that fireball to boil water, and we use that water to turn a turbine? And that turbine to move something forward? What happens when that energy is destroyed or reset? Does the vehicle that was moved forward by the fireball's heat move backward? Because that would be even more energy being put into the system. Even very temporary energy spikes can be functionally treated as a permanent one. There we go. That'll work. Don't know why. I guess this dragon won't have wings. That way it actually makes sense for them to be riding a broom. Alright, we're gonna need to put, like, I don't know. So let's put some kind of arcane engine on it. It's like a couple little bubbly tubes up here. And then let's shift the position of all this so we can get like a magic flame coming out of the broom, or coming out of the engine there, that looks broom shaped. Vaguely. Let's turn this into like some kind of gauge, I guess. I don't know. Bubble, bubble. I don't like the shape. That might work just fine right there. What if Fireball works by quickly putting in thermal energy from the surrounding area, which would drop the temperature by a few degrees before releasing all that thermal energy quickly? So the thing is that still is fun. That's still creating energy in the form of moving energy. It takes energy to move energy from one location to another. So by moving that energy, you create a heat displacement. So you could actually generate even more energy with a turbine there in that sort of situation by having it set up so that you use the area where the Fireball is pulling heat from as a cooling tank to cool the steam back down to heat it up again. It's the fundamental difference between magic and technology. Magic violates the conservation of energy. Technology preserves it. Let's see. And then let's put like a new layer for this. We're gonna do like a little magic ring around it. Actually, it might be better to do this as a flat thing and translate it later. Heating things up, it has a side effect of Alright, let's duplicate that. Actually, let's first select modifier, transform selection. There we go. Enter, delete everything inside so it's a bit crispier. Now we'll duplicate it, shrink it down, rotate it a bit, because then let's duplicate it again, shrink it down to about there, duplicate that, shrink it, shift it up to be there, and shrink it to fit. Grab this one, duplicate it again. Got it there. Shrink. Grab that again. And one more time. Alright, and we'll merge those. And duplicate that. What was it? Let's try it. No. There we go, that's the one. And we'll do something like that. We're starting to get a little bit of a magic ring sort of deal looking. Well, here's the thing: is even if the fireball is only changing it by a couple of degrees, that's still something you can something that you could optimize and capitalize on. You know, you leave it one, you bring the water, you just sit there and repeatedly hit it with fireballs, or keep it at a stable pool just below steam. You can capitalize on that. Heck, you don't even need to necessarily turn the water to steam to create vortices and stuff like that to just generate movement in the water and pull energy out. The idea of, oh, if we keep the energy levels low enough, it won't be infinite energy, doesn't really work. Infinite energy is infinite energy. Even one infinite energy is enough infinite energy. Let's just like do some weird doodles. There we go. And we can merge that whole thing together. Zoom out a little bit. Drop it down. Let's edit this into perspective. Be about there. Something like that. Probably pull that just a tiny bit more. Maybe push this in. Yeah, something like that. Now we got like a magic circle. And we can lock that. And we'll just have that around for later, powering the... So we might want to actually move that, to think of it, to like in front of the engine or something. Or circling the back of the engine. That sort of deal where... Or we can show a bit more of the magic engine. Who knows? I'm gonna hide it though for now, because I don't think we need it. We can work on other stuff. Let's get the hand. Let's see, that's given that position. Pinky forward? Pinky forward. We can kind of do the thumb and pointer finger back here-ish. We'll sort the other fingers out and put a little wand in there. That'll all just kind of have hand mass in it. I think Thumbcraft 5 is that has the aura levels depleting, so like if it's applied to the mana setting, if an area uses too much magic in the area quickly, it depletes the local magic level. So that certainly helps, is if the concept of mana is treated as a world resource that can be depleted. But most of those settings then basically say, hey, but mana just kind of comes back after a while. And again, this is where we get to, I think Game of Thrones has the most realistic concept of magic, where it's not, where it doesn't fundamentally break the entire way the universe is set up, which is mana is basically human souls. Like, there isn't any other way of paying for magic besides committing horrible atrocities and stuff in the Game of Thrones setting. So, you know, if you have, like, people dying or other real-world resources requiring to be sacrificed at a one-to-one, you can kind of get away with it. You know, Full Metal Alchemist's alchemy sort of works because you are still having to pay for everything. But D&D's high magic just fundamentally in no way, shape, or form even remotely works, because it's like, nope, the only cost to cast, you know, summoning an entire castle of stone is taking a nap for a few hours. Alright. Let's bring in some like scales and stuff. That'll help a bit, I think. I think Thaumcraft has mana full comeback. It just equalizes the mana level, and if it gets too low too often, that's when bad stuff like being harder for magic to function. I mean, I can't really speak for Thaumcraft. I don't know what that is. Based off of the name, I have to assume that that's some niche Minecraft mod. But, Oh, we didn't get this set up right here. That's part of why this pose is looking weird, is because it doesn't look like a sitting pose from this set. But I would also ask you, if that is some kind of niche Minecraft mod, how many players are in poverty on those servers? Because the answer is 0. The answer is always 0, because Minecraft functionally has infinite resources. The more effort you put in, the more resources you have. It's just a one-for-one trade there. And that's fundamentally where the problem is. Happens to be harder for magic to function when it permanently in the area opens a portal to some other place that unnatural things come out and could possibly cause destruction or be killed by non-magic means. It is a Minecraft mod, but unfortunately development has ceased. Okay, yeah. So I guarantee there are 0 players playing on a Thaumcraft server that are what one would describe as being in poverty-like situations, because that's literally 15 minutes in Minecraft, and you can be completely coated in diamonds. You can have anything you want within like an hour of starting. Heck, even on the most basic vanilla servers, you can get to and kill the Ender Dragon within like an hour. And that's not even like speed running, that's just, oh yeah, I want the Ender Dragon down. I need to go to the end, so I better make sure I take out the Ender Dragon. So it's unfortunately kind of a bad example for the, you know, magic rules there. I was just using it as an inspiration for magic. It is a non-renewable resource type world. And, you know, even then at that point where if you're treating magic as this pool of mana sort of deal floating around that slowly gets used up, at that point, it's not really magic anymore. That's just technology. You're just moving mass from one spot to another. You know, it's about as magical as, you know, a cell phone at that point, which, you know, pretty cool stuff, but technically just applying the rules of the basic principles of the world to create light in a box in your hand. You know, it becomes no different from coal. It's just, you know, instead of being underground, it's now in the astral plane and needs astral plane miners. And, you know, you can tack the word astral or arcane in front of any number of things to call it magic, but if it quacks like a duck, it acts like a duck, and it looks like a duck, probably a duck, even if you call it a swan. You know, maybe it'd just be better to not have the second sideshow at all. Maybe more like that. So I'm still not liking the perspective on that particular piece. There. Okay, let's get a face in there before too much longer. Hmm. That arm is way too long. Even though you should be able to grip something there. And not even that hard. It wouldn't even be that hard. Am I just like making... Is this elbow just too low? That might be it. Maybe it's more of... something like that might be right. Something. Did we just not see that shoulder at all? Maybe we should imply it then with like a... This just... What if maybe it's too far out? Maybe it just needs to be more back? It's tucking closer to her side? That might be it. Now it's starting to look even worse. Like, what? Just feels so incredibly long, and yet that pose should be trivial to do. You should be able to do it with your elbow, like, far bent, and I don't know what's up. Well, whatever. We don't have to show the other arm at all. Just get a little bit of elbow, a little bit of shoulder in there. Call it a day. Who knows where the other one is? Doesn't matter. No, it looks bad without another arm. Okay, so then we need the arm doing something. Just having the elbow anywhere down here is fundamentally not working. Do all kinds of things with just the hand right here, I suppose. Maybe make her holding something. I don't know. I'm pretty unhappy with this with how this painting is going, all things considered. Because we've spent over an hour here on just very basic line art things and still have no idea where most of this is going. Like on pose sketch, this is turning into an absolute slog. Good enough for the face, I suppose. For now, we'll straighten it up later. Just gotta get something done. Not every painting is going to be a winner. Especially not every painting done in like 2.5 hours. There'll be a lot more misses percentage-wise. Alright, cool. Call that. Oop. That's a pretty good hat brim shape. I don't like the shoulder pad she's got. It looks out of place, thrown in there for the sake of throwing it in there. It's also something I don't like about this kind of setting is that sort of thing happens a lot. The throw parts in there for the sake of throwing them in there. Happens a lot in the steampunk setting too. Just slap gears on stuff for the sake of slapping gears on stuff. Okay. I mean, it fundamentally doesn't change the fact that the character design is better without it. Like, people don't wander around being like, yeah, bits of technology, and just slap bits of technology on themselves. They use useful pieces. I guess it could be like a wristwatch or something. Might be able to do something like that. And we can duplicate the magic circle for that. Implying that somehow the wristwatch is helping control the broom. This has got to get hidden. Or rather, actually, let's do that this way with cover-up mask thing. That way we can uncover it should we choose to. And just, it just ends up being a lot more magic than technology. Anyway, I'm rambling. I need to just paint this and call it. Let's get a background in there and now, yay. We want to do, we'll pull darken from the top. That's a bit too much. We'll pull some kind of blue in there. We'll slide more like yellowish here. Implying like light coming from a town or city below, and we can put a silhouette of like buildings and stuff down here. Lights going off into the distance there. Actually, let's, instead of going black, let's pull that towards like a moon blue, moonlit blue there. We're gonna have to suppress this a bit more to the city line, otherwise it's gonna feel like it's on fire, as opposed to having lighting just coming up from the city itself. Yeah, that's a little better. Here. Actually, let's do that a touch more dark, right? Going here. That center point where it is neither close to the moon nor close to the city. There we go. Alright. That's sort of backgroundy. Let's do a filter blur over that just so that the city is less examined. Let's do a filter noise, add noise. Yeah, there we go. I'll help push that background into the background. And we can lock that. Let's color onto her. I already went with like bright blue there, so let's keep our blues in. Oh no, actually the underside of the hat would be the best place to put something that's not blue. So let's do like a pink. The best place to contrast strongly. Great place for the accent, because this is where we want people looking up near the face. Alright, let's grab nice dark gray blue for This is going to print out terribly, I just realized, if we do too much more dark blue. Because it just, that stuff just completely washes. Turns into just a black blob when we put it on a printer. Might have to do a color shift on the whole thing once it's done and bring it a little lighter. Might have been a bit heavy noise. We may need to toss a thin blur over that again and redo the noise at a weaker level. Wait, that's the inside of the dress again. Do we want to do that? We can do it pink, but we're going to do it as like a dark pink, so it blends a bit more in. Imply that it's vaguely the same color, but more in shadow. Though we should probably knock back the saturation on that too. Less distracting. I have to wait for it to drop at least 10 degrees Fahrenheit so I can prime my new tank, because I really want to try out the scheme. Why you gotta wait for it to get cooler? I've never had a problem with the heat messing up my priming. Not that I've noticed. Though I typically don't leave my things outside, I will like prime them and then immediately take them inside to dry. Associate the broom tail here with the circle pretty well if we use the same blues and kind of blow them out to white a little bit. Just slightly paranoid about it, and I do things in sets of bits, as I do sub-assemblies and multiple coats in different angles. I mean, sure. I just, I put it all on like a cardboard box when I do it, and just carry the box in and out. There we go. Get a nice deep blue room flame. And get that same glowy blue here. Boy, do I love color dodge. It does wonders for painting. Lets you pop things so thoroughly. Actually, I need to lock the opacity on this layer before I color dodge it. Or not opacity, but opacity. So that I can color dodge it without fundamentally changing it. Add a little bit of we'll drip to color burn. A little bit right there, so it's got some variance. Jump back to normal and just push this a little bit each way. Oop, that's a little bit much. Yeah, there we go. That looks nice and magic-y. Relock that layer and let's get some slate steel color in here for this thing. Let's do it on a layer lower. That almost looks pink because of how blue everything else is, despite also being in the blue spectrum. Anyway, we'll go above the line art on this one just slightly so we can clean up the edges. And get this piece actually looking good. Got a little bit of blue glow around it. I really wish you could phrase it. Do layer masking to layers that weren't immediately under the mask, which sounds weird, but so like I could do a touch-up layer at one height, a base coat layer and a line art, and then have the line art between the touch-up and base color. I think that'd make things a lot easier, but you can't do that. And then have the touch-up layer clipping masked to the base color. Some more of that blue glow look. Just get some dim blue in the muffler. Why a spell techno broom needs a muffler, I have no idea. But it's got one. Magic must be pretty loud in this world. There we go. Has one because style. Yeah. I guess so. Anyway, let's get the more gray in here. Hide that briefly. You know, brooms would suck to ride on. Just gonna say, like, the air is super cold at that altitude. Like, you know, frost condensing on your skin. But oh well. Alright, let's see here. A little bit of highlights and shine so it looks more metally. There we go. Skin tone. Let's see. Pink. It's a little dark outside, so let's shift a little gray to help. Maybe the watch projects a personal heating field as well. Then that could be. Should have given her like a teapot, a techno teapot with some hot chocolate or something in it. Some techno chocolate. Yep. Could have had her witchily levitating it. Actually, that would have made a nice scene just on its own wouldn't have even needed the broom. Just leave her in a nice cafe, witch levitating techno teapot full of tea. Oh well, this is where we're at now. We can't have all the nice things. That probably would have made a much better scene than what we got, but can't have all the nice things. Yeah, I don't think this is terrible. It's not what I would have wanted had I known this was what I was going to get setting out. But you know, I don't think that this is terrible. It is par. It is exactly par. Let's use this dark blue for her hat. Outside there. Pull the horns in. We can use the same dark blue there. Because we wanna get that nice contrast on her skin with the dark blue as well on the scales. Actually, that might not work. Come to think of it, because we don't want the scale. We want the scales to contrast with the skin, but not blend with the dress, I think. I don't know if I want to bring green. I could go maybe in that pink range again. The reds aren't terribly far off from pinks. Let's go with like a red. Get just enough contrast. To devalue the red a little bit, we can use it here as well. And we will use it for her hair and horns. Oh, that's not looking bad. Get a couple of points of interest going. Going to get food now. You'll be back later. All right. I'll see you later then, Code. Have a good one. Roll a new layer on top. And start doing corrections, I guess. Turn that into like a little gem there. We can facet it a little better. A little bit lighter faceting right there. Let's get a little bit darker for this facet. It's got a little bit of transparency. There we go. That'll work. Alright, let's like do the face legit so it doesn't look terrible the whole time like the last one did. Oof, excuse me. And give her red eyes. That'd go nice. We can really punch those up too in this particular case. So we're using other red. Bring in some of that hat pink as well. I don't know if I managed to just completely miss hitting the pink. I think I did, though. We are working on a bit smaller of a face here, so I might not necessarily go all in on the eyes and stuff. These are a lot smaller than some of the faces I've worked on. Just a little bit of that yellow on the bottom, reflecting up from the city. Oh yeah, this is like, okay, this face isn't just a little bit small. This face is like a quarter of the size of many of the faces I've painted. Thinking on it. I'm getting very few pixels to work with here. Okay, just take a breath, focus. We're frustrating ourselves. Good reason. I'll bring some hair in, just kind of obfuscate whatever the heck's going on with that cheek, because I don't feel like actually sorting it out right now. Clean up the horns a little bit. Clarify what's going on with those. Alright, let's pull that a little more red. Got a little bit of red here. Kind of fill in this bit so we can add some shadow there. Come on, scroll up. Tried 4 times there and it didn't scroll up. A little bit of shadow from being under the hat. A little bit more hair shadow back here. Just a touch of the other shoulder, barely being visible. We'll get some skin tone color in there eventually, but not right now. I can't paint over the noise layer at all. We're just gonna let the underside of the hat violate any concept of the shadow, I think. 'Cause magic? Question mark? There we go. There. Let's clean up this edge just a little bit so it feels more like hair and less like scribbles. More like hair scribbles and less like scribbles. We may not be good, but we can pretend to be good. Just a touch of that orange for reasons I don't. Highlights. There we go. Alright, let's add some of this in between these scales. We'll hide our magic circle again. The scales look a little more defined. We can add some of the orange in there. Near the edges. All right. Get a little bit of shadow on that tail. Actually, I might just push the whole tail into shadow. I don't want to, so that it's not an issue. Might just be the best way to do it. Yeah, and it's not that noticeable altogether. Anyway, I do want to start merging some of these layers. Wish I could keep them separated for a bit longer, but I need to clean the shape of this because it's bothering me too much. Like, I don't want to completely lose the outline for some parts, but I do want to completely lose the outline for the tail, and I can't kind of really maintain one without the other if I don't merge them. There we go. Let's grab that so we can add the wand there. And just erase that a touch, erase that a touch, so it's a real simple hand. We'll add a little bit of that, so there's clearly a bracelet there. Let's get a little bit of skin tone highlights in various places. Get the old pie. There we go. Add a little bit highlights to the dress. Soften those a little bit because that's too much. There we go. Let's add some gentle shadow to the dress. Kind of pull in there. Kind of want a little bit here. Shape there a little bit. A little bit there. I'll get those shapes in. A few little shadows on the hat. Pull some of this in to highlight the top edge. reduce the line art there a little bit. Let's do the same here, because it's still just bad. Add a little bit of yellow from the city below. Just kind of hit a few little points on her, implying that we are respecting that there is a highlight down there, just not much, because it is not the main light source. Let's turn that big magic circle on and see where we're going to get a little bit of that blue yellow. Highlight there and there, a little there, a little blue right there, catch a little there, and a little there, have a little off the hand, a little back here. There in the shadow, a little there, a little there. There. That way it feels like it's glowing, even if we're not really using it as the primary light source. Okay, let me touch up her mouth, and I think let's get her nose there. Mouth. Mouth is gonna be, yeah. Curing color, maybe? I don't know, somewhere. A little darker. Curing color? Yeah, pretty close to that, I think. Gotta do a pretty simple mouth shape here, because we don't have the luxury of really digging in and making this great. She's too far from the camera. Okay. I mean, not the best work in the world. Definitely a little chunky. I didn't know what I was drawing for too long, and it just spent too much time wandering around, not getting much done. And when it actually came time to get stuff done, didn't have enough time to do it. I do want to come in here, grab this, and do a little touch of brighter blue on it so it stands out a little more. Now, and since we ended up getting rid of the concept of smoke coming out and it's just glowy bits there we go. Witchana Technobrome. I feel like that meets the qualifications. I'm gonna call the stream there. It's been pretty fun. Anyway. Catch you all later. I've been Aka Onigiri. This has been my stream. If you've enjoyed it, go ahead, hit that like button. It really helps out. Like, just 1 or 2 likes can easily double or triple the number of views a video gets when a channel is real small like this. So it helps a lot. Anyways, if you really like the content, hit that subscribe so you can see when I go live again and you can watch live. I promise it's not. It's often a lot more directed and a lot more focused and has a better result than this. Anyway, it's been fun. I've been Aka Onigiri. You've been a wonderful audience. Have yourselves a wonderful day. I'm gonna peace out, maybe go eat some lunch and, yeah, get started with some evening stuff.